So let's be honest. There is a downside to traveling abroad, traveling to another country, and this is the biggest downside. Your kid might not be able to compete with the locals on the local language. Okay, so my son, oh man, I didn't want to say what score he got. He got a bad score on the test. Okay, he got a bad score on the test, like bad. Okay, and I'm not saying bad like double digits, and y'all like, wait, that could be anything from, 10 to 99. But like, let's just say it's closer to 10. But he's taking a history exam, or Historia, as they call it. It's not too far from it. That's why I'm like Spanish, don't it? But he's taking a history exam, and I can't help him. If it was a math exam, I could help him. But in the history exam, I can't help him because the whole textbook is written in Swahili. Okay, the whole textbook's written in Swahili, and he's just put into it. They just look. Here's the Swahili textbook. Read this. Take your exam. The entire exam's in Swahili. Ace it. And the thing is that for some reason, I don't know, his stepmother, or my wife, she kind of like this is a hard exam even for me. The history exam. And of course, I can't help him because I don't know the language. But then, after he gets this low score, I say to myself, I had this idea before, like the first time I saw this Swahili textbook, maybe a little bit after. First time I saw this Swahili textbook, and of course it's taken me a couple of years, but the first time I saw it, I said, look son, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit down and you're gonna type up this textbook. Just type it up in a Word document that we both share. He has an account, I have an account. No, I have access to his account. Okay? He, like Google Docs. He typed up the whole thing. And what I said now, I said, look, because I done messed up. I didn't do this before. Like, we was doing it, then we stopped, and I let him like play around and be a kid. But I said to myself, look, this is what I'm gonna do. You now gonna type up this stuff. Type up chapter 1. He's on chapter 4 now, but type up chapter 1, and we're gonna feed it to the AI. We're gonna feed it to the AI. We're gonna say, look here, AI, this is a fucking textbook. Translate it word for word, bar for bar. Right now, the AI at first is like, man, this is the summary. This is what it basically. This is the summary. This is short. I said, no, man, look, motherfucker. What I want is word for word, bar for bar. And he's like, well, I got it now. It's Japanese, right? I got you. I think it's Japanese, I got you. I don't know. But that just came to my head. But anyway, but he's like, I got you. And so, yeah. Now I have English, Swahili, English, Swahili, English, Swahili. And the thing is this. I didn't sit down and read with him just yet. But what I'm saying is that when you have a whole document, and it's like elementary school level, a lot of repetition, a lot of whatever, you can read it and start picking up on words yourself. And the thing is, it's not like, what I want to say is this, it's not like it's only AI that could do this, because you could also just have your son write it up, or even pay somebody to write it up for you, right? And then pay somebody else to translate it, or pay the same motherfucker to translate it, right? But what it tells me is this, like I said, this might be the disadvantage to being abroad, but here's the thing. It's a reminder that you as a parent, right? You start off as a child, you're born as a child, and you become a child's advocate. And this is why a lot of times we complain about, the next man, he does better than us because he was born with a silver spoon. Or the next man, he does better than us because his parents got him this, got him that, got him this, got him that. And I'm thinking to myself, do I need to get my son a tutor? Right? But the whole thing that I'm saying is that you as a parent, you're not supposed to sit back and let your son compete on the same level as the lowest common denominator. You're not supposed, like that's how I had to compete. I had to compete. I mean, I begged my mother for some books to get ahead. Because what happened was I was supposed to go to, I wanted to go to one of the specialized high schools. They got specialized high schools that are, for kids who, like this is the brightest kids in New York, right? Like, I think it was like a middle school, high school, right? Yeah, specialized high school. So when I took the exam, I barely made it. I barely made it. But what I realized was that the other kids who took the exam, the Asian kids, for instance, right, who did make it, their parents invested in them studying to get into the school. So I wasn't studying to get into the school. I didn't have books to get into the school. They did. They sat down and studied the workbooks that gave the secrets, gave the clues. And so what I'm saying is that, when I was in school, I was mad at my classmates for that. I had, Russian classmates and, Jewish classmates and whatever that were paying for tutors and so on and so forth. And they were competing. And I mean, I was out competing them, but I had the disadvantage. And they had the parents who was just putting in money. Like one of the kids, I think it was like a Jewish lady. She was like, "Yo, man, my mother pays like $1,000 a week for a tutor. That's $1,000 back then, okay? Or $1,000 a month for a tutor, or whatever." And then she also had a maid and shit, and all that shit. And I was like, and I was saying to myself, I used to be like pissed, like why they. I wish I had those resources, but you can't have those resources. That makes the school system unfair. It's not supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be you shine, however you shine. And part of how you shine is leveraging what I will say is your fortune. Okay? Leveraging your fortune. And your fortune is when you're a kid, is your parents' fortune. You understand? Your fortune is when you're a kid is your parents' fortune. So one thing that you do through life is leverage your fortune. And so even though I would say that this is one of the disadvantages of being abroad, and again, AI is not even like, no, AI don't even cost you nothing. So it's free, it's not your fortune. But what I'm saying is that you leverage your opportunity, or you leverage. That's how you go through life. You leverage, you leverage, you leverage. So of course, I want people to understand that, there is a downside. But that downside can be rectified. And if I was you, what I would say is buy yourself like a children's Swahili book. Okay? One of the advantages of Swahili, matter of fact, is that it's in one of the advantages of Swahili is that it's not advantages, I don't like this part of it, but it has the Latin script. Use the Latin script. So you can get yourself a young person's book, type it up, or have your kid type it up. Then you can feed it to the AI and tell them, look, word for word, bar for bar. Okay? Word for word, bar for bar. Give me translation. Word for word, bar for bar. And absolutely, you can even read it and start understanding ideally. You know what I mean? Like ethics and so values and all that kind of stuff. You can start understanding. So I'm gonna spit that to you, and I'll hit you back. That's it. Show me a little tap on Kujasa Neb. I'm in my do I nature.